Hey everybody, I am going to show you how I would build a tow rig similar to this, but we're going to go a little newer. We're going to do one with this one. Now it don't look like much, but when we're done it's going to look pretty awesome. Let's get started. To start, since I'm kind of a old school, we're going to go with a two-tone. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a stripe on it. We use the medium stripe. We don't want it on top, we want it down both sides, so I use the green little selection up here so that it'll go down both sides. We're going to get it up here close. We're going to keep it, I think they stayed right along the body line when they did them, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to change the color a little bit. I don't want it yellow, but I don't want it white, so we're going to use more of like a pearl color. Make sure it showed up on the other side. It didn't show up in the back, but it showed up in the front. So we're going to center it up again and move it backward. And then we'll straighten up the back whenever we get that point. If you can't hear the birds, I decided to do this outside today. Okay, so there's that. We got the right color. Now we need to go to paint and figure out our color. I've tinted the windows. White looks good, but blue looks better. We're going to go with that color blue. We're going to go with a gloss finish. And I think we're going to go just a tad darker. Okay, there's that. And it's weird how the stripe looks a little slanted down. I'm going to go back in real quick and readjust that. I thought I had that right. Let's adjust it up just a touch. And then lift it up. Make it just a touch bigger. Okay, that's pretty close. We're going to go with that. The back didn't stripe. The front is still striped. Let me scoot it back again. Here we go. Alright, and then now we got the color scheme set up. Let's go back in here, and the wheels that I'm going to use for this will be the bullet holes. I'm going to use those on both. We're going to chrome them with a blue bead, chrome, or no. Okay, here we go. Blue bead, matte blue bead, and then for the wheel, chrome. I'm not going to use bead locks because I think that kind of takes away from the idea of it being a tow rig. So there's that. The tires, we're just going to go with the super aggressive tread. And the back, we definitely want to be a dually. There's those mods. We'll do the upgrades last for the moment. The suspension is going to be a heavy duty suspension, front and rear. That is finished. Next we're going to go to the suspension, max it out front and rear, travel. Typically for this truck we're going to go with like a 45 to start, front and rear, and in the rear actually we make it as stiff as we can, and then we adjust the travel accordingly, and it looks like we're just about level. We're going to go with a little bit higher in the rear, not a ton but just a little bit. And then tires, we're going to go with a little bit wider. Let's max that out real quick, front and rear. Wheel width, in the rear we don't want to do anything yet, but in the front we do. Go a little wider, just a tad taller, so 1.1 and then 1.3. Wheel radius, we want to go down, not radius, I'm sorry, rim size, we want to go down just a touch, 0.9, and in the rear we want to do the same. Radius 1.1, rim size 0.9. Alright, and we're going to adjust the suspension just a little more. I want the front travel up to about a 40.48, make it just a little taller, and in the rear .40. That actually leveled it off a little bit. Perfect tune. And then let's go, let's go ahead and go down through all of these. In the front we want the dampening to be about a $3,000. In the rear we want the dampening to be about $3,000. Leaf springs up, no rear steer, shocks are a 2, shock size is 2, spring brackets 1, and that's the rear. Now for the front. Spring brackets up, shock size 2, shocks 2, leaf springs up, dampening's done, axle width's done. I take that back, axle width's not done. We're going to go just a little bit wider. Okay. Let me check by going back to body. We'll go ahead and do that real quick. The front bumper, I'm going to go ahead and change the front bumper. I don't care for that front bumper. I like the old Fords, but I don't like the new ones. Fenders, we want a dually fender for the rear. No bumper for the rear. I like the shaved look. We don't want any of that. We'll do the tubed running boards. No lights on top because I'm going to put cab lights on it. Put a spare tire in the bed. Put a winch on it. Exhaust. We'll put one in the back. Change out the front lights to white. Put a toolbox in it. And we're getting close to being done. Now, that's finished. Decals. How I put the cap lights on, we'll go with shapes. These should be probably a little more of a round shaped headlight, so go down in size, spread them out. I always duplicate on the front ones, or on the side ones, I'm sorry, and then it's a little too red. We want kind of an amber look. So those are right. Then you hit duplicate. Scoot these together and straighten them up a little bit. Okay, duplicate again, but this time take your double-sided off, and then we want to pull that down a little towards the front. Sometimes there's just a little bit of a pain trying to get them adjusted right, because the second ones look okay. So now we got the cab lights on it, or the best we can do with cab lights anyway. Now let's do the motor real quick. Definitely diesel. Max out the power, max out the grip, max out the weight, max out the durability. Put a turbo on it, max out the turbo. And that's about all we can do to it to make it a good tow rig. I got it real stiff in the rear so it can tow, and I've already got the 1.5 deuce loaded up. Alright, we'll go to my map, and I'll show you how well this thing pulls. Alright, let's see how fast this thing will go. And that is without doing any adjustments to the gearing. Pulls pretty well for being the first truck on the list in the dealership. Alright guys, well there it is. For the first truck in the list, and the one that gets probably one of the least amounts of attention, at least from all of the people that get the shots at the bigger, newer trucks. It turned out pretty good, and it pulls really well. If you like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and make sure to turn on your notifications. That way you get all of my notifications for when I pull up a new truck, make a new video, start a live stream. And make sure you like the video and comment if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.